what has been the craziest thing about running your own business? The biggest challenge that you've faced in this transition from being a model to a product-based business owner?
So many challenges.
Yeah.
I think, I think there is like a few things. One thing for sure is that you can't really trust everyone around you. And, it's a very lonely road to make your own brand and to start something from scratch and start something new where you have to teach people about what you believe and
lot of
really
education, yeah.
sell that idea to others. So like so many things are hard. Like you can't trust a lot of people. Raising money is really hard. It's very lonely. And, like I feel like I started really naive and I just was, telling everyone about it and like telling the secrets what our products were gonna have. And, I trusted people to get into the brand and they weren't very qualified to be in. So there's a lot of like learning too, which is great. Now I know so much. But trusting people is hard, and you really see also who are like the real people in your life, who stands by you and your ideas, and who is supporting you, and who is just there to just like not support.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of like good lessons on like just how to navigate it in a way that's like good for you, but also like you just have to like be careful, I feel like, with like people that you involve in that, and it becomes like lonely sometimes. And that's like the biggest thing I have learned, to just be like, accept this is gonna be a little like lonely road for a little
No,
while.
you don't have to be lonely. There's so many women who have businesses and who have product-based businesses that I
want
am
to support you, too.
100% confident nominating in addition to nominating Maddie and I to support you. There's
Thank
so many women who have product-based businesses, who are doing what you're doing, who have transitioned careers, or who are in the public eye doing this, that would bend over backwards to
I
take
think
a
of,
call and help you and support
Emily
you.
Donato, she was on the podcast. She transitioned from
Oh, yeah.
model to
I feel like
skincare.
she'd be such a great,
a lot of
Yeah, I
support.
mean, obviously I have like a lot of friends and
Yeah.
people in the industry that I've met over time now that are so supportive and so helpful. There's so many people that are amazing and great. But it is a market in the end, and you are like, there's so much competition in this market, and like any market. And so it's just like knowing, who you can trust and who not. And, obviously I want to support all women's brands, and especially women's owned businesses and Latin, owners and everything. But sometimes it just gets a little
Well, because at the end of the day, I understand.
toxic,
Yeah.
Well, also at the end of the day, you're the only one that makes the final decision, and that feeling can get lonely sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's,
Yeah.
you're the final say, and sometimes it's like, can someone else have a final
Yeah.
say?
It's
For
like
sure.
crazy.
It's very overwhelming because right now in the brand it's only me and my partner Nicole, and we do so much and we do a lot that sometimes I don't even feel qualified to, and
That's
I just have to
entrepreneurship.
go,
Yeah, totally.
and learn and just,
You Google. Just be like,
exactly.
how the fuck do you
yeah,
do this?
you
Yeah.
just you just learn.
Google.
If you really want to do this, you just have to go for it and just, figure it out. And
Yeah.
you can always figure it out if you
Yeah.
really like love what you're doing.
Okay, let's
Amen.
talk about time management, because you are a busy woman. You're not only a model, but you have this company you're growing, and then you're like traveling the world with your boyfriend, who is one half of the Chainsmokers. So where does time management and building a business that's so new, like where does it all fit in?
Well, when we launched the brand, I realized that I really had to commit to the brand because I was still like traveling so much for modeling, and it's still my main job because it's still where I get my income from. And so I realized that I just had to choose at some point to, step out from like some events or fashion weeks, or just really with my agency, I had to sit down with them and be like, there are some jobs that it's not worth it for me right now because there's so much time consuming to either going to the jobs or going to the castings and all of that was okay when I only was modeling. But then with the brand, I really have to dedicate like my everything. Like I was like living and breathing and thinking about this brand the whole time, and I still am. And so I kind of had to start, to choose some parts of like, I'm not gonna, like, for example, now there's Cannes Film Festival. I have been going for the past 4 years, but this year I just didn't have time. I
You know
just
what?
couldn't. We are launching new
Fashion
products.
wasn't that great this year.
Yeah.
It was, honestly, I was looking
Yeah.
and I was like coming off the Met. I was like, what is happening in Cannes right now? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what are people wearing. It was boring. It was so boring this year. So it's
Yeah.
good that you missed it. It was fine.
Exactly.
You know,
So
it was
I
fine.
made the right choice. But sometimes it's like, and it's hard because it's all I've done my whole life. It's like, I want to be there, I want to model and everything. And then I'm like, but I can't. Like, if I really want this business to work, I have to commit in another level. And so I'm trying to like navigate everything that I see important, because also like traveling, you meet a lot of people. There's a lot of people that really helped me along the way that I met in my traveling and going places and being seen in places. It's important. So just trying to like have a balance between all of it and realizing like, I want this. I want to get away a little bit from modeling and step down and be like, maybe just go into the shows now instead of walking the shows, and like being in bigger campaigns and like just doing all types of like photo shoots and being in everything. Like I do want to be more like an entrepreneur now and really embrace my brand. We are growing now. We have like new products. And so, finding the balance. It's not very easy, but we're doing it.
Yeah, I was
you're
gonna say,
doing
you
it.
seem like you're doing it really well. I mean,
You're doing it.
what kind of entrepreneur are you, would you say? Because it seems that you have this like calming, grounding, like, I know what I'm doing. I understand this product. I understand this market. I don't know. There's feels like there's this confidence you have
Yeah.
with the business that I don't think a lot of entrepreneurs with their first business have. So like what is that with you, or is that just how you've always been with projects you've started?
I think both. I think I have always been confident in general. I think, I don't know, I think in Brazil we are more confident in general because we are very mixed in Brazil. So like anybody could be Brazilian. There's not like a stereotype or a way that you look or something that you do that makes you like better or feel better. I feel like there's like this, it's a little different in Brazil. It's more natural how you like accept yourself and who you are and how you take care of yourself. It's more than, we don't like compare ourselves as much as I think like here in the United States. Obviously there is like comparison anywhere in the world, but I think we just have like this extra, I don't know, confidence in Brazil that's just from our culture, I think. But I don't know. I came into this business very humbled because I knew I didn't know anything and I wanted to learn. I was really like the people that designed our, made our designs for us, and people in our lab in Brazil and people in our production. Like I learned, like I didn't know anything. So I was like, I'm going to learn from these people. I'm going to let them, everybody's going to do their job how they're supposed to. Even in our campaign, I knew what I wanted to show, but I wanted to leave the photographer and the stylist and everybody free to do what they could do best.
That's great.
So I wanted to learn from like, you are doing products and that's what your degree is about. Like I want to learn from you and you do your job. So I think like opening space to learn and to like know you don't know everything.
And not micromanaging. I think that's really
Yes.
healthy, where
Yeah.
you're coming at it as, I trust you
Yes.
and your abilities and your job, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do your thing. And like, I
That's what
also
the best leaders do.
the best leaders, and also you are comfortable saying what you don't know, which I think a lot of people would struggle with, where they're like,
Yeah.
no, I know everything. I'm the entrepreneur. I'm supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
Whereas no, there's power in being like, hey, I don't know, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
hire someone that's
Yeah.
better at this
Yeah.
than me,
Yeah.
so that we can get the best possible result.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of like intuition in what I want to do, and I know lymphatic drainage is something that's real and it works, and there is a lot of like I know that I'm doing something that works, and I think the confidence comes from that there. But I also think like making this brand a real thing is not something I knew how to do, and
Yeah.
then I just like slowly like
Step
I'm
by step.
learning and I'm opening space for people to do their job, but like the message is just I know that this message is real, and that's I think why the confidence is there, because I'm not selling something that I'm like, oh, let me just put my name here, and
Yeah.
like we made these products from scratch, and like they smell. I was involved in every step of the way, so I knew what I wanted to do, and I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.